that because he went through so many struggles and accomplished so much, overcoming a lot of things?
He did, and he dealt with a lot of kind of corporate nonsense that was what I was going through as well, and you know, it just kind of, his personality was just always there, and it was always a rock. And the rest of his band, I mean, having a band and touring and doing all that stuff, as you know, you're a rock star.
I'm a rock star, yes. You're not supposed to tell anybody. Yes, I am. That is me, right up with Cyndi Lauper.
So there's a lot of kind of, if you're the band leader, I mean, there's all this other kind of nonsense that goes on in the band, struggles, and I want to be on the front, and, you know, it's a lot to deal with. And he just kind of was able to pull everyone through all this like a propeller and just go for his dream that was creating like amazing lyrics and putting it to incredible sound, and boom.
And Petty's the man.
Petty is the man.
Petty's the man. Okay, so you were mentioning that you had to learn by trying and trial and error. What's one of the things that you learned that you had no idea when you went to interview people or tell stories that is a big lesson that you learned?
Well, one lesson I learned when I started this on-camera stuff out here in San Francisco was that at first I really thought that, you know, I had to be this amazing gregarious guy, like, and really do the whole show. And I'd have people in it, but, you know, I was the show. And then I realized after a couple of videos absolutely whiffed that I was the reason. I was trying to carry the whole thing. I wasn't listening to people when they were answering my questions. I was just getting ready for the next question.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is listening and knowing kind of what the person is saying. And then if you keep down that road, you're going to get a really cool interview because the other person knows that you're actually paying attention and you care.
Yeah.
So
I agree, 100%. Excuse me, were you saying something? Sorry, let me see what my next question is. Hold it. Yeah, we do have a list of questions. You probably can't even see this. A list of questions that we start before we interview, but a lot of times that's just a place to jump off. It's really important to maintain eye contact with somebody and really listen to where they're going. And one of the best, at least my favorite, was Johnny Carson for doing that, because he had always said that I'm on here every night. You know, other people get to be on. This is their time. And if you let people along their own little path, they're going to come up with something really hysterical as long as you're listening and able to catch it. And I think, you know, I love Jon Stewart. I love people that just kind of in the moment, listening to what's going on and trusting that you're going to get a good story.
Yeah.
Because the minute people smell you just reading line after line or question after question, it gets boring for people.
Totally.
So, yeah, I've learned that lesson too, definitely.
Yeah.
But now you shoot primarily in the Bay Area, in San Francisco, or just kind of all over the Bay Area?
San Francisco. I mean, we'll follow stories outside of the city limits if it's something pertaining to San Francisco. Like the San Francisco 49ers going down to Santa Clara tomorrow because that's where they're doing the NFL draft and unveiling their new jersey. So we want to be there for that.
Now, do you ever do something that you think is going to be a fun interview or kind of make it like comedy based, and then all of a sudden it gets really serious and it takes you down a whole different path? Have you ever had something like that happen?
Totally.
To you?
Well, I didn't think this was necessarily going to be comedy based, but we did a piece on the commercial real estate industry in San Francisco that I didn't know what to expect. I thought I'd have some fun back and forth potentially, but because of the industry and kind of the bleak times right now for brokers especially, it was just kind of a tough interview. I mean, it was just no real great news. I mean, there was some positives, but really kind of overall was some struggles in San Francisco. And I think that was evident. I mean, Jimmy Fallon's first night on the Jimmy Fallon show, he had Robert De Niro, who you'd think would be like your all-time guest. And then Robert De Niro gets on there and won't say more than yes or no. And he's sitting here sweating his, bullets. Did you see that at all?
You know what? Nothing could beat River Phoenix or Joaquin. No,
Joaquin on Letterman.
Oh my God! If you've seen that, if you haven't, Google it, man, because it is freaking hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It's just the pain that Letterman goes. But Letterman's a pro, and he did go through the whole thing, and Joaquin Phoenix just did not participate. Like he was just vehement, just sitting there, not kind of grumbling at him. And at the end, he said, "That was a great interview. I wish you could have been here for it."
Yeah, exactly.
And that was amazing.
He got him on that.
He did.
And I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
You got to be present. You can't show up like that to something like David Letterman.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, have you had anyone that was really hard to interview that would give you like the one word or multi-syllabic answer and that was it?
Totally.
And how did that go for you?
Not well. I ended up trying to carry the interview, and this is what I was referring to, falling flat on its face. You know, I mean, I think I did there were two people actually down on the Embarcadero area with Harley Davidson gear, husband and wife.
Okay.
And so I was like, these people are hilarious. They're definitely not from San Diego, or from San Francisco, excuse me. And so I interviewed them, and it was nothing. I couldn't get anything. I was talking about motorcycles and all this stuff, trying to get into what they like. And then at the end, I just did something corny, like sing a song like Born to Be Wild. And that's one of those where I was talking about, where you got to let the people, I mean, if that one misses, go on to the next. So, yeah.
And that's all part of bringing the story out. And it's really important. Now, in today's world of all these technology, we have tweets, we have text, we have Facebook, we have all this stuff. I don't think we're much better storytellers than they were way back before they had any of this stuff, because we're losing the art of what we're doing right now. Face-to-face communication. You're not texting me, I'm not texting you. It's eye to eye. We're just talking here and telling a story. And I think, do you think that all of the modern equipment that we have is making us better or not as good at communicating?
I agree with you in that it's not making things better. I think more face-to-face interaction with people is so good for human beings. And nowadays, I mean, I just joined Facebook 2 weeks ago, just because I know, in order to kind of get this kind of like fun video comedy career off the ground, you need a bunch of people to see the videos. Otherwise, you're just making videos that no one will watch. So that was one reason. In MySpace too, I just joined recently, but they can be unhealthy and addictive, and they can be used for the wrong reasons. And it's great if your buddy's in the Peace Corps over in Cambodia and you want to keep in touch with photos, see what he's up to. Like, that's a cool thing.
Okay.
True story.
Joining us, we have with us tonight Taylor Rogers. Please check it out at vidsf.com. Bye, Taylor.
Bye, Christina.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you all for joining us on Christina Marie TV.